Welcome to Wednesday Night Live from the basement. Here's your hosts, Rob, Daryl, and Tim.
Good evening, gentlemen. It's Wednesday, coming to you live from the basement. As always, I'm joined by Daryl and Tim, and our special guest this week, returning friend of the channel, Richard. How you doing, gentlemen?
Great.
Good.
So,
Good. Douglas, how you doing? Welcome. What's new and exciting, guys? Everybody having a good week so far? Daryl's enjoying the blistering hot weather up north.
Blistering hot weather doesn't even begin to explain it. Summertime seems like a fun time.
This weekend,
But on a positive note, this came in the mail today.
yeah.
An autographed copy of the box sent from
hold on.
Tim.
Let's do this. Do it justice.
Yeah,
Look at
so
that.
it's a box like a greatest hits compilation, and
Dum dum dum.
here it is, my record store day honeymoon suite singles album. So
There it is.
I haven't even taken them out of the shrink yet. Well, one of them's out of the shrink because it's autographed. But that was the exciting thing. You know what? Like when you sent me the stuff, Rob.
Yeah.
Like Tim only sent his thing to me like
I think it
4
was
days
Friday.
ago or something. Like
I think
Thursday.
it was it Friday? Yeah.
Yeah,
Thursday?
Friday you sent it to me and it came up. Actually, it was here yesterday. The card was in my mailbox yesterday. I couldn't get to the mail though. So it only took 4.5 days.
That's crazy.
It's just insane.
For those that don't know, Daryl lives somewhere so remote that, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You mentioned that there was no train on Wednesday, but it still made it.
Yeah,
Or something like
so because it came up on Tuesday's train.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
so those of you that don't know, I live in a place where you can't come in on a highway. There's no road access in and out of my town, unless you take a winter road in the winter time. But there's train access. So previous to COVID, the train used to run Monday through Friday, but then post COVID, they took away our Wednesday train. So you can only get in and out of here on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays.
Is that Ontario
Unless you want to
Northland?
fly.
Is that Ontario
Ontario
Northland that runs
Northland,
up there? Yeah. Right on.
Yeah.
Right on. You guys have it was a long weekend for us. Your long weekend, Richard, is next weekend, right?
Yes.
All right. So we had a long weekend last weekend, which colloquially we call the May 2-4 weekend because it falls in and around the 24th of May. It's technically Victoria Day in honor of the birthday of Queen Victoria, who's the grandfather of our current king. So it's when Canadians go to cottages and drink a lot of beer. So
Kind of like Memorial Day here. That's
exactly. Yeah.
Everyone just buggers off and goes camping. So
Right. I don't camp.
Yes, you do not want to be going north on the 400 on a Friday.
No. I was on
Or
the 400
south on the
today.
400 on a Sunday.
I was on the 400 today, both north and south. I thought to myself, this would have been a different scenario a few days ago. I do not camp because I don't do the outdoors. I do not have a cottage because I'm not rich. And I don't drink. But I did spend all weekend thinking of Daryl because I was outside doing yard work all weekend. It was 30 degrees Celsius, hotter than balls. And I thought I was going to have a heart attack about 4 times because, just was thinking of you.
Me too. I did yard work too, but it was +2 and raining.
It was hot as hell here and sunny, which normally does not happen on the 2-4 weekend. Normally it's snowing and rain and miserable and just absolute shit. But it was nice this weekend. So yeah. Yeah. Anything else exciting to talk about? Anybody buy any records? Anybody go see any concerts, Tim?
No, next week I've got my concerts. Actually, a record came in the mail yesterday. Hold on.
Okay.
I didn't know they pressed this.
Hold on. Oh, yes.
That's a great album.
Hold on. I knew that was coming out, and I contemplated buying it.
Yeah.
It's a good album.
So I actually got this from a shop in Toronto, and they shipped it up to me.
Nice.
What was the main single on that?
I thought it was. I'm losing my marbles. There's Someone Who's Cool. Maybe that.
Yeah, that one. Yeah,
That's probably
It's a
it.
good song.
Cool. There's Hurt Me. There's a few good ones on here. This is the big one though. I thought, what's the song? Don't the Odds do Eat My Brain or something like that? Or something like that?
Yeah, I think they do.
From another album.
Oh,
I don't
boy,
know.
I
This
don't
is
know.
the big one though.
I know they do Heterosexual Man because we talked about
Yeah,
that.
they do that one too. No, that's not on this one.
But that's
That's like
that's like an early 90s.
Yeah.
That there's like a 30th anniversary pressing, right? Isn't that what the anniversary of that? Something like that? 30
I don't
years?
think this was ever pressed. I think this is
No,
just
but I
the-
mean 30th anniversary of the album, I think.
yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, it's
First
from the
time
90s.
Yeah,
So I have to
Very
give that one a spin.
very cool.
I've
I have
never
a
even
concert
heard
coming
of
up
that
this
album.
week. I got a
Whitehorse,
concert
right?
coming up this week. I'm going to see Whitehorse on Friday.
Mm.
Second date of their tour for the new album. So you're going to see them for the, I don't know, 25th time or something like that. So I was going to bring a couple things to get autographed, and I thought, then I got to carry them. And I have more Whitehorse autographs than I can shake a stick at. So I'm just going to go and enjoy the show.
Nice.
10 minutes
not?
from my house. Great. Why not? So,
Yeah.
yeah. We are talking tonight about the most expensive records in air quotes. And I love how Richard put that on his community page. Expensive. Because that's subjective, of course, right? I mean, just because that's what Discogs, that's the median selling price on Discogs, doesn't actually mean that's worth that. It's worth what someone pays for it. So, but nonetheless, it's a fun exercise, I think, right? And I don't know that we've ever done. I mean, I did this as a video probably 3 years ago, but I don't know that we've ever done it as a live stream topic. So,
I was looking
Yeah.
at some of the max value prices. I'm like, man, like that doesn't make
Some
any
are
sense.
ridiculous. It's
Mhm.
Some of that doesn't make any sense.
I
Unless
was
someone
quite.
bought it. Yeah.
I was quite surprised, even the median values of some of the things that I'm going to show tonight. I was really surprised. So Richard was laughing at me because we were texting about 45 minutes ago. And I am notoriously unprepared for these live streams. I know, what a shock. I send these guys the link about 7:30 at night. And that's when I start pulling the records for, and Richard's like, you're crazy. I hadn't even looked at my Discogs list. I sent you guys the link at like 7:32, and then I opened my Discogs account, and I'm like, how do I get it to sort again? I could that's how under the wire I was.
Yeah, since the
but-
Discogs update, what, a month ago or so, I haven't figured it all out.
Yeah, it's the update's questionable. But anyway, I hadn't looked at it. But all week since we decided on this, well, I shouldn't say 3-4 days ago when we decided on this, I'd go to bed, and as I'm falling asleep, I'm like, I wonder what the top 10 on my list would be. And I had some guesses. And I was right about half of them, but there were some others that popped up in my top 10 tonight, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And there were a lot more in there that I don't really think any of these should be worth that amount of money, but I got to address this comment. The damn Sabres lost. You bet they lost.
Yeah.
You know what, Glenn? Listen, I'm a diehard Habs fan. They didn't deserve to win that last game. I didn't see the first period, but the second and the third period, we played like we were asleep. We spent 90% of the time in our own zone trying to keep the puck away from the net. It was a fluke that we won in overtime. That said, I can't wait for us to beat Carolina because the company that I work for is headquartered in North America in Charlotte. And I'm going to be down there in about a week and a half. And so, I'd really love to rub it into my colleagues that we beat them. And then what I really want to happen at West is I really want the Avalanche to beat the Golden Knights so that Richard and I can, have a little rivalry in the Stanley Cup final.
See, I'll be okay. I'll be okay with who makes the finals as long as it's not Vegas. Because as a Leaf fan that never liked Marner to begin with,
Right.
it's gonna really peeve me off if he makes the final.
Yeah.
But if they do make the final, I don't care if it's Carolina or Montreal. I hope they destroy the shit out of Vegas.
I
They're one
really
of the
wanted Colorado
cheapest teams
Montreal
in the league.
final.
That would be very cool.
It would. Because let's face it, Richard, neither of our baseball teams are going to get the job done because the Jays are shit in the bed. So
Yeah.
the
Rockies are actually doing slightly better than they've done in the last decade. So
right. The Jays do
You know,
not
you know
look
what would
like
make what would really make this though, Rob, is if Montreal won the cup and Gary Bettman retired, because the last time a Canadian city won the Stanley Cup was the year he took over, and it was Montreal.
right.
Right.
1993.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
That's
would,
my
that would
hope.
make my day.
That's my hope because every day I want to kind of go like this because they do not look like the team that took the Dodgers to extra innings in Game 7 of the World Series. What a shit show. Anyway, I know everyone comes here for the sports. Because we're expert sports commentators. Might as well jump into this. Richard is our guest. Do we want to start with what Discogs tells us is the most expensive and work the way down because that's the easiest, or do you want to go the other way? What's your preference?
I have mine organized from low to high, but whatever.
We can do whatever.
okay.
Let's just hold on. Trevor's got a comment here. Can't stick around. According to Discogs, my most expensive record is the debut of Rage Against the Machine, 92 pressing. Bought it in 98. Only one pressing in the 90s. Right on.
Wow.
Thanks for stopping in, Trevor. The Rockies were the worst team in league history last season, so
Yes.
they're improving. Yeah.
And every time I pull up my Facebook or whatever, it's like Rockies win. And I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Trevor says median value $216. Good Lord. Can't imagine paying that for a record. I've got some that allegedly are worth that.
Yeah.
Again, to remind everybody, we're not saying that these are worth it, and we are not saying that this is what they should sell for. We're only, as a fun exercise, saying that the historical median selling price on Discogs is a certain value. That's all we're saying. We're not saying they're worth it, so don't get in the comments and go, you guys are worth it. No. We're using this as a benchmark for a fun exercise. We're not prescribing value to anything. Oh, you got a steal then, Trevor. $15 to $20. Good Lord. That reminds me, Trevor's comment reminded me, I just wanted to show something just out of shits and giggles. So when I was going through my list, down at like number 10 or 12, or no, it was like 12 or 13 or whatever, was a record I paid $20 for. And I didn't think it was worth anything. It's just a record. So I found this used in a record store, and I was shopping with Brian from Embryonic Robot and Chris from Stylus Meets Vinyl a couple years ago. Found it used, paid $20 for it. It's this Bobby Charles album that I talk about from time to time. And according to Discogs, the median value on this sucker is $130 Canadian.
Oh my God.
I just went, I don't know that anyone, I've never heard anyone else even know who this guy is.
Yeah.
So there were some pleasant surprises in this exercise. So yeah, that was kind of fun. So we're going to start like at number, because what did we pull? Did we pull 10 or 12 roughly somewhere in that neighborhood?
That's about what I pulled.
All right. So
I think I did.
I did 12.
Then.
Start at the bottom then, Richard, and
Work
your way up. The floor is yours.
Done. Okay, this was actually a last-minute poll because it surprised me because it was such a recent thing. But first, I'm going to get the elephant in the room out of the way because of that frickin' Beatles mono box that I bought last year from the Beatles store with the discount. It was like $400 and something. The median on this sucker, this is the second edition, is $925 right now. And I'm like,
American.
what?
American?
Huh?
American.
Yes.
Wow.
So Canadians, that's over $1,000, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, 1 point.
mind explosion.
Three.
Anyway, so this is an album, and I've shown this on one of your live streams, I'm sure. I've put this on my channel before too. This album came out a couple of years ago, and it's a soundtrack album to an Amazon series called Fallout. And you know what I'm talking about, Rob. It's like, yeah, you actually helped me figure out what the hell this album was all about.
Yep.
So it's the soothing sounds of the apocalypse, and it's a soundtrack to Fallout. It is like old school jazz, Nat King Cole, Perry Como, Ella Fitzgerald, the Ink Spots, stuff like that. I think it was Ink Spots. Hang on, making sure. Yes. And I love this. It's really cool. It's come on this very gorgeous marbly blue vinyl. And it's fantastic. I bought it on a total whim, mostly because I love the name of the album and the cover art. I was like, God, even if I hate this album, I would just frame it. I paid the retail on this. I bought this from Amazon for $21. I had some Amazon credits, which I applied to it. I paid $14 for this album. Median value for this sucker right now is $140. High end is $175.
Wow.
Who? What? Where? I guess it's out of print and everybody still wants it. It is very cool.
It's probably the Fallout connection.
The TV show.
Well, I'm sure it is. I mean,
Yeah.
it appeals to fans of that age of music, that very old school, and then the Fallout fans. I guess it's a video game too.
It is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the whole 9 yards. It has a three-way appeal, if you will. Fantastic album, but yeah, I wasn't going to pull this one because it actually fell out of my top 10, and I was like, wait a minute, I paid less than $20 for this 2 years ago, and it's pushing 140 median. That's bonkers. 14 copies for sale, starting at 130.
Crazy. I'm still so mad nobody told me the mono box was being reissued. I have probably 250 Beatles records, and I never bought the mono box because when it came out in 2014, I could not afford it. But I was smart enough that over those couple months, I bought all the records individually. So I don't have the box and I don't have the book, but I have the albums, and they sound outstanding. So I'm glad they reissued it for folks that want it.
Yes.
But even still, it's sold out like that. And
It's sold
you got
out
one, did you not, Tim?
fast.
Did you get one, Tim? The mono box?
I did. I
Yeah.
did.
You had a couple issues with yours, though, if I remember.
Yeah, I do. I have an issue with the Please Please Me and the White Album. I have issues.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and my White Album, that top scene.
The slip, the fold flap thing is unglued.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
but
was
my
like, oh well.
I don't know if it's kind of a bitch to pull out. I don't know if I'm going to. No, I'm not going to do it. It's too much. But the Please Please Me, the side A, so the label has been like, I don't know how they remove the lacquer or like how they apply the sticker. The whole label is like shot. It's almost like half peeled off.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and there's like a scuff along the record, but it's inaudible, so it's good. But a massive scuff right along the record, and
Oh, that sucks.
yeah, it's brutal.
That sucks.
And you can't replace something that's in a box set. Like, how do you go about?
Yeah, that's right. Can you replace this one album for me? Yeah, they're not going to, and they
No.
can't. So, and they didn't do the individual reissues
Nope.
for this round. So
Right.
that's what you get.
No.
not to get off on a Beatles tangent, what it would be nice for them to do, and a lot of Beatles fans have been clamoring for it. So that mono box set is a direct analog transfer from the original mono
2014.
tapes. They've never done that with stereo. So the stereo box set is a digital transfer. So fans have been saying forever, we need an all analog stereo box set like we got with the mono. And I would be for that, but I would not buy the box set. I would just buy the last 3 albums because the mono box goes up to, but does not include Yellow Submarine, Let It Be, and Abbey Road because those were never issued in mono. So, the only band I really give a shit about the audio quality is the Beatles. So you've got the first 9 albums or whatever it is in mono, all analog, sounds amazing. Then you got these 3 other ones that are digital. So it's like you can't have a full set that's, you know what I mean? So it'd be nice if they did the stereo ones, but who knows? Hey, Brian, how you doing, man? Welcome. I saw you were live just before we were. I was going to pop in and say hi, but I was busy pulling records. So how you doing, my friend? All right. Tim, you were already supersized. So
Okay. So from the bottom up, right?
Yeah. We're doing Discogs most quote unquote air quote expensive records for those just joining us.
So like you, Rob, I knew some of these were going to be up there. And I got a whole whack. Like obviously, like I'm looking at my list, and I can do like a quick like my at the end of the show we can do like our quick fire ones.
Yeah.
And show some like the box sets are the top 10. A lot of them are box sets. So I'll like if I just remove the box sets and then go down to the so these are my LPs in order. So this one's a surprising one. This was a Record Store Day 2017. Is it on any cool? No, it's just black wax. Only one in the store, and this is kind of what I went out for too that year. This is like the record that I wanted to get, and that's Mercy Playground.
Ooh, yes.
Oh, that was Sex and Candy.
That's the one with Poppies, Sex and Candy.
Nice.
Yeah, Opium, all that. And actually, I never actually met these guys. I'm like, I absolutely love this record. I love it. It grew up like I brush my teeth to this. Like I love this. I love this album. And
just don't brush your teeth.
And I just Facebooked them, and I'm like, hey, like I just picked up your RSD record. Like it was a pain in the ass to pick up, but I did it. Like, can I mail this to you guys? And they're like, to sign. They're like, sure. We're going to be playing at this venue, so send it to this venue. And they signed it all there, and they sent it right back to me.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah,
Very
it's
cool.
great. So I never actually met them, but
cool.
Yeah.
And to be clear, everyone, Tim's not factoring in the autograph value of these.
Yeah,
that's completely subjective.
Autographs are too subjective, and they could go for anything depending on who's willing to pay. So this is just like this just happens to be autographed, but so what was the mean? This is $270 mean for this record. Yeah.
So Tim's starting out with his least expensive of the ones that he's showing tonight at $270. Good night, everybody. The 3 of us are just going to leave, and Tim's just going to talk for the next 2 hours.
Only goes up from there.
The high is $449 for this record.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
If that's the cheapest one you're showing tonight, I'm worried what the rest of it's going to be.
Yeah. And yeah, so there's the hype sticker. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Great album. The whole album is like when I first listened to them, I only kind of knew Sex and Candy, but the whole album is actually phenomenal.
I didn't know how you follow that, Daryl, but good luck.
Well, I can tell you exactly how I'm going to follow this. I'm going to be straight up front and clear about this, that my highest valued record is not worth as much as that single record is. So I know this isn't a competition, but I can tell you that I'm starting off with a record that most people pay for a record in store currently for a brand new one.
That's okay.
So
you stole most of yours from a record store or record station or radio station.
Actually, out of all of these, 3 of them.
Okay.
3 of them, I think, are from that. Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
We'll get to
In your
that later.
defense, though,
I actually have one that's quite valuable that I have 2 copies of that I got.
In your
for free.
defense, though, Daryl, in your defense, I've never seen with my own eyes a physical copy of the hockey song by Stomp and Tom.
Of what?
The Stomp and Tom song.
The
there,
hockey song.
Hockey song. I've still yet to see that. Like, to
Me
me,
neither.
that is rare. I don't know how much it's worth, but
Well, I can tell you that I'm starting off with this one, which actually I think is an underrated and completely fantastic album. I paid full price for this. I got it for like $40. The median value of this album, Donna Lewis's Now in a Minute, is like $67. That's my lowest valued one. But the highest it's ever sold is like $100. So I think that it's going up if it's in shrink. And this is on a gold label, or not gold label, but gold wax. So yeah, I mean, no, I get it. It's not a competition, but it's just funny because your lowest one is still worth more than the highest one that I have. And the highest one that I have is absolutely, in my mind, it's shocking because of what I initially paid for it.
right.
And I paid my highest one when we get to it. I paid for it in US dollars. And it's just the price of it's just completely gone excessive. So yeah, Donna Lewis, if you're not familiar with her, I think this is from 96 or 97. She's a Welsh singer. Did that one-hit wonder, at least in North America. I Love You Always Forever. But my brother had this on CD when I was in high school. And I just like every single song on here except the last one. The last one is one of those remixes of I Love You Always Forever, and it is absolutely shit. It ruins the whole album. It's like, I don't know why they do that. Oh, we got to put a remix on here. And then you're like, no, the remix didn't need to be made. It's garbage. So it would be in my opinion, a perfect album without that song. So yeah, median value in Canadian is $67.95. It sold for almost $100. I would say the bottom half of my list is less than $100, but then once I get to the top half, it goes up. Although my next album, well, I'm not going to talk about it right now, but the highest value that it's ever sold for is just, Rob, you're gonna like it when you see it. Anyway,
Okay.
moving on.
All right. Let me supersize myself here. Okay. So I didn't think this would be as expensive as it is. This is Abbey Road, and people go, "Holy shit, who cares? There's a million copies of Abbey Road out there." Yes, there is, and I have like probably 8 different copies of Abbey Road. This is a UK first pressing. And the way that you can tell that it is a UK first pressing, aside from the fact that if you look at the label, it's a UK Apple label, which is a little different than the North American ones. But the way to know for certain, on the back here, it's called the misaligned Apple because the Apple logo here is supposed to be in line with the text that's here. The only version that the Apple is misaligned is the very first production run in the UK of Abbey Road. You look at every other copy, that Apple is in line with the text. So that's how you know that it is a UK first pressing of Abbey Road. I mean, I bought it obviously knowing what it was, and I probably paid, I think I probably paid like $80 for it, and I paid shipping to get it here. So I probably paid about $100 for it years ago. According to Discogs, again, for everyone, we're not saying this is what it's worth. We're just saying historically, this is the median value that it has sold in the Discogs marketplace. $186 Canadian, which is, we'd imagine, probably about $150 US. So cool. I eventually have this dream of having all first pressings of the Beatles albums from the UK. I think I only need 3 more. So there you go.
Very nice.
Yeah. I did not expect that to be as expensive as it was, but there you go. Okay, Richard, what's
All
next
the
on your
Beatles
list?
stuff's going up.
One of the things I've noticed about doing this is that, checking this yesterday and I started pulling, that some of the values have changed in one day. And I think, I think a lot of it is based on current numbers that are even selling, that one sells, it's out of the database and it changes everything. So I don't know. This is for Rob.
Okay.
And I know he hates me.
Oh, you're gonna show U2's Songs of Innocence or whatever whatever the first one was, the record.
Yeah, that one.
That's what you're gonna show.
Songs of Innocence. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, let me pull
I really want that record. I mean, I have the regular release, but
well, for those who don't know, this is a Record Store Day issue 2019, I think. Check my notes. Oh, I'm wrong. 2015. This has been out for a while. This is like 11 years out now. So, double album on a very generic looking press. It is just black vinyl. Nothing striking or amazing about it. And it is, there's some extras, bonuses, and this and that. And I am struggling to get this together. So let's put that over there.
Well, what you do, if you're struggling to get it together, put it in a box and send it up to me. I'll put it
now.
You won't get it back.
Well, we got lyrics, because it's the gatefold, you got to show them. Because I don't have an original of the. Do you have the OG vinyl of this? Not this one, but just the regular album on vinyl. Is it a double?
Yes.
Okay, so it has like this whole D side is like acoustics of Every Breaking Wave and Raised by Wolves, Cedarwood Road, all that stuff.
I believe so.
Okay, so this basically is just the generic version of this.
That's the one that they gave everyone on the iPods for free, and everyone got pissed off.
Yes, and everybody got mad.
And then it was like 3 or 4 months later when it actually came out on vinyl. So when they gave it to everyone on the iPod, they didn't have the artwork yet, right? So it looked like that, and that's how they put it out on Record Store Day. And then they came out with the cover, which is Larry Mullen Jr. and his son.
Yes, that's right. I have that on CD. So anyway, this is the hype sticker. I did keep that one because it was a gatefold and I did want to pull it apart. So this was $40 back in 2015, which is a lot for a double, even back then, at least, in the States. Median value on this sucker, if I can find it. No, that's not it. My iPad's not cooperating. Okay, median 185 US. High is 260 US. With a low of 90, which seems very low. But 27 copies for sale right now, starting at 150 US.
Okay, I'm just going to buy it at 150 US. Here's why. So I'm going to steal the screen for a moment. This is what it looks like when it came out. Afterwards, Larry Mullen Jr. and his son. You've just convinced me that I need to buy that because you said side 4 was acoustics of Cedar Road and okay, well on this version there is a side 4, but it's the Crystal Ballroom 12-inch mix. It's a stupid remix of a song called The Crystal Ballroom. So I need that because it has different songs on side 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the track listing. This has side 3, side C, if you will. Yeah. This contains the Crystal Ballroom, not a mix. It just says the Crystal Ballroom. An alternate version of The Troubles. Sleep Like a Baby Tonight. Alternate perspective mix by somebody. And a song called Invisible. And I don't remember any of these.
None of that is on here. Once. So, yes, so your side 2, does that end with Cedarwood Road? Side 2?
Side 2?
Yeah.
No, it ends in The Troubles.
So this is completely different. So mine, so starting off on side 1, mine is The Miracle of Joey Ramone, Every Breaking Wave, California, Song for Someone, Iris, Volcano, Raised by Wolves, Cedarwood Road. Then we go to side 3, Sleep Like a Baby Tonight. This is Where You Can Reach Me Now, The Troubles, and then side 4 is Crystal Ballroom 12-inch mix.
Okay, so basically that is a double of the one album. This is 4 sides of more stuff.
So I have to have that then. God damn it.
You do. Get
So,
on that, Rob.
As Devin's pointing out here, $254 Canadian.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Plus, if it's in the
is.
States, it may not be, but
Damn.
then shipping to Canada, holy bazooka.
I may not. But God damn, I need to get that shit. It's more. You just ruined my night, Richard. Thank you.
Yeah.
Frig.
I'm so sorry.
I wanted it before. Now you
need it.
That really hurts it.
God dang. Okay. Let's
I
see what
hate
Tim's
these.
going to show us that's going to take my mind off that.
Okay. This one's another surprise. Like, I didn't even know. To be honest, I haven't heard this record since it came out. It was through Pledge Music back in 2016. Why I actually pledged to this, I don't even remember why. But I guess the single is decent. It only is an EP. And it's, do you guys know the Thompson Twins?
Yep.
So the singer from the Thompson Twins came out with this EP called Science Fiction. And there he is there. And so I'm like, okay, yeah, it's fun. It's got this, so it's a clear label.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
It's completely translucent, the whole record. So you
Wow.
That's neat.
yeah. So, and it's like it's, I don't even know how, like, I don't remember, I have to play this again to see the quality, because it's not really, it doesn't feel like wax. It doesn't
It's
feel
like acrylic or something?
Yeah, I can't even explain it. Like,
I wonder if it's lathe cut acrylic.
yeah.
Maybe.
Anyway, it's pretty cool. It's got like it's hard to describe the feel of this. It almost feels like a book. Like, it's got that rough texture. It's not like a standard, it's not like what do you call it? Like a matted, or like it's weird. It's very like I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, big deal. The median for this thing, it's an EP. The median is $280. I don't understand why. Like,
Good
it was
God.
just a one-off. Like, oh, well, like, this is kind of neat. So it's one of those, like, it's just kind of one of those things that I forgot I had in my collection. And yeah.
How did you come across it?
It was through Pledge Music. So I used to go on Pledge. Yeah, I used to.
I've done that a few times.
Yeah, you just poke around. I'm like, oh, Tom Bailey, like, he still does stuff? Because I thought, well, the Thompson Twins have been done forever.
Right.
But I'm like, okay, let's see what he's up to, kind of thing. And he did this really cool pressing. I'm like, okay, yeah, and it came signed. Well, he signed. I think he stock signed the front, and then on the back, he just says,
Wow.
Thanks for the
Cool.
support." Yeah. So kind of cool. Like, yeah, 200. When I saw that it was $280, I'm like, why is this $280? Like, who's buying this? Yeah. Go figure.
Crazy. Again, Daryl, I don't know how you follow that.
Well, I know how I can follow this. I can follow this with this next artist. This next artist that I have, I never thought in a million years we'd even be talking about this guy on this episode, because every single other album that this guy has done, at least in Canada, is a dime a dozen, especially his big one, which we've talked about a million times on this channel. Rob, I think, has like every album that this guy has ever done. he also thinks that this guy is a bit of a Canadian jerk, maybe, I guess you would say. But I'm going to show "Waking Up the Neighbors" by Brian Adams, which the median value of this record is $68.50. I didn't pay that much for this, but here's where this one gets interesting. So this is a Columbia House pressing. This is an American Columbia House pressing. The high value, this record has sold for $211.50 Canadian.
Jeez.
So that's where this one, I guess the value on this one is, maybe it's not the fact that it's $68.50, whatever. I mean, once again, that's an average price of a record in Canada now. It seems, $50 to $70. But the fact that people are willing to pay $200 for this thing is just insane. I mean, if you think about it, like I said, the rest of his albums, Into the Fire, Reckless, Cuts Like a Knife, these are a dime a dozen in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
You can find them at any record store.
Did you find
but
that
this
here
one
in
here
Canada,
you can't find just anywhere. This is a bit harder to find. The fact that it's only worth $68.50 is crazy to me, but the fact that it's sold for $211 at one point is insane. So yeah,
I will say that record cost me $350. Not the actual record itself, but because I love it so much, it's what made me go out and buy a Fender Stratocaster. My first Fender Stratocaster, which I still have hanging over there on the wall, was $350. So it's because of that album that I bought my first Fender Stratocaster.
That's hilarious. So the record and the Fender cost you $350.
That's about right. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not familiar with this album, though, it's the one that has Everything I Do It For You. Is Your Mom Gonna Miss You? Can't Stop This Thing We Started. Thought I'd Died and Gone to Heaven. Do I Have to Say the Words? I mean, this is a big album, but it's not as easy to come by as, say, Reckless is. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. I don't even know. Were they pressed in North America, or is that a?
That's an American pressing. That one there. It's a Columbia House.
Okay.
Press. So.
Okay.
Clubhouse edition, I guess they call it on Discogs.
In case anyone cares, there's the offending Fender Stratocaster. It's from 1999, so it's almost 30 years old. The pick guard was originally white. I've completely changed all the electronics, but this was Mr. Brian Adams' fault. Actually, Mr. Keith Scott's fault too.
I like the fretboard. What kind of wood is that?
Rosewood.
Nice. That's gorgeous.
Yeah. The pickups that are in it are actually worth more than the guitar because the pickups are crazy expensive.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not that anyone gives a shit about my guitar, but there you go.
It's a custom Fender custom.
No, believe it or not, it is a Fender Mexican from '94.
Okay.
But what I did is I put in really expensive Lawler pickups and I added an extra tone circuit to it, so it's a 7-position Strat.
Nice. So. Got it.
Yeah, I love the color too. It is midnight wine or midnight burgundy. I walked into my local music store back in the mid '90s or whatever, late '90s. What's the matter, bud? You spill something? Don't worry about it. I got, what is it, water or milk? Okay, I'll get it in a bit. No worries, pal. And it was used. I was looking at it. So it was 99. So I bought it in 99 and I happened to walk into the music store and I was looking at it and the guy's like, yeah, someone just traded this in yesterday. It's only like a month old. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah. So yes, it's Mexican, but it plays like a dream. And I have an American over there, but
yeah, I got rid of a few of my guitars, but I still have about 3 or 4.
That's a little better than the 15 I have hanging in this room.
Yeah, I had about that. But I haven't played since my son was born, and I'm gonna have
it's addictive, right?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I have a thing for Telecasters because there's like 7 of them there. But anyway, we're not talking about guitars, and it's my turn now, right? Am I correct? Okay. So I have talked about this record before on this channel. And normally I would say a Richard keeps score because we've just mentioned Brian Adams, and now we're going to mention Blue Rodeo. Days in Between is my favorite Blue Rodeo album from 1999 or 2000. I love this record. The band hates this record. This was only pressed on vinyl as a promo that they sold at shows on that tour. It was never in stores, doesn't have a barcode on it. They pressed somewhere between 500 and 1,000 of them. Do not come up for sale very often. This is not the copy that I bought on the tour. The copy that I bought on the tour is hanging over there on my wall, right over there, signed by the entire band. And I played it for quite some time, and then I decided to frame it. And I have a friend that played in this band for 17 years. And I just asked him one day when we were chatting about something. I said, hey, is there any chance that there's any copies of Days in Between on vinyl kicking around? He goes, yeah, there's a partial box at the office. You want one? I said, could I get two? He goes, yep. And so I have one. My wife has one. And I've got my signed one. So I'm lucky to have those. Most Americans are not going to give a shit about this because they don't care who this band is, but it's a big band in Canada. According to Discogs, the median historical selling price on this is $189 Canadian. I saw one come up a few weeks back on eBay, and it was something like $400.
Wow.
I've seen it once in a record store in Toronto, and they wanted $400 for it. So I'm lucky enough to have 3 copies of it. Which makes me sound like a dick, but I don't mean to, it is what it is.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
Okay, well, we got like the big surprises out of the way. Most of this, I'm not gonna say bog standard, but it's very much my vibe of type of music. So the next one is a group called Frightened Rabbit out of Scotland. They're kind of, for me, they're hard to describe because I can only describe them in terms of other bands that a lot of people don't know. So Frightened Rabbit is kind of in the same wheelhouse as maybe a slightly more upbeat The Cure, or and definitely in the same wheelhouse. It's almost, I hate to say it, it's like depressive music with an uplifting feel, which is exactly what it is. Lyrically, the lead singer is, well, guitarist too, Scott Hutcherson, committed suicide later down the road. This is one of their first albums, and had a history of mental health issues, and it was really reflected in the lyrics. But musically, it's so uplifting. It's almost like he was making music to kind of, express what he was going through in his life, but at the same time make himself feel good about being able to express himself through music. Anyway, this is the Midnight Organ Fight, probably considered their biggest album. It is not my favorite album, but it's definitely up there. But anyway, this is a 2013 reissue, kind of expanded reissue that has A and B sides are the original album. C and D is a live album that was released only on CD. If we put it to vinyl, which is really cool. Easter House, great comparison. So it's just interesting. Anyway, Scott Hutcherson did all of the artwork for this. So this also included this cover art actually comes out because it's a frameable print, put this on the wall somewhere. I kept it with the album, and that's why the shrink wrap is on it, just so it kind of holds it all together. $29.99 I paid for this. And I'm like, okay, that's not bad. Good deal. What's it worth now? Median $176, high $500. Who would pay $500 for that? I don't know. But even on the low end was $67. So that's a huge disparity, which makes me wonder if over time there's only been one copy on Discogs and it would sell. Then another copy comes on Discogs and it sells. And that kind of impacts all of this median stuff. There's 4 copies right now starting at $226. I'm like, holy shit. but I'm glad to have it. I'm very much a Frightened Rabbit completist. Yeah, a band I'm happy I was able to see before they, kind of closed house. They Twilight Sad, another band from Scotland that I'm huge on, opened for Frightened Rabbit. So for me, it was a perfect, double bill. But yeah, so Frightened Rabbit, 176 median. That's where the median thing gets kind of a weird and skews a lot of stuff. I mean, yeah, the median, and a lot of people confuse median with average. They're not the same thing.
No.
So if you have 100 albums that are selling and 50 of them are selling for stupid money, and then there's a couple of outliers down here, that median gets kind of shunted way up. And I think that's kind of what's happening here. So who knows?
Yep. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Tim.
Okay. This one I knew would be up there. This is a cool album. So I'm just looking up when I would actually bought this. So 2017. So I'm probably late night scrolling. I listened to this album a lot, actually, on CD, streaming, whatever. And I'm like, I'm probably late night scrolling in bed, and I'm like, man, is there vinyl for this? And lo and behold, on the guy's website, they have like 3 or 4 of them. I'm like, okay, well, I should have bought a couple of them. But this is the album that I listened to the most. So I bought this one, and they came autographed and numbered. I'm like, okay, well, that's a nice touch, but I don't care. I just want the fact that it's on vinyl, because I don't think he's ever pressed since, and you can't find them anywhere. And that is Buckethead.
Ooh.
So there's Buckethead, and then I've got 200 and whatever that is, 57. So this is an album called Crime Slunk Scene. This guy, it's instrumental. It's nothing special. Black vinyl. There's no printed inner sleeve. Nothing. It's just very. I think he just kind of forked his own money to get them pressed or whatever. I don't know, but mind you, he probably has the cash because he plays guitar for Axl Rose, GNR. He's kind of their hired gun there, and has been with them. But it's instrumental, but the guy is like a wizard. Like the song, check out the song, like the song Soothsayer is one that's a really good introductory to him. It's not too out there. It's pretty melodic. Soothsayer from this album is actually a pretty good listen. Anyway, so this purchase, so the median is $286. The highest is $641, and there's 4 copies for sale at $414. Buckethead, like go for it. Like why? I don't know. Well, I do know why, because he doesn't press his records, but like I don't know, man. But this is a great album if you like instrumental guitar music. It's less noodly. It's not like Steve Vai where he's like, that's just noodly. This guy is like, he kind of uses, like kill switches and whammy boards, but he plays a lot of melodic stuff too. It's not just, the fretboard. So, no, Buckethead's good.
Cool.
Crime Slunk.
And he wears a bucket on his head.
And yeah,
Literally.
Yeah, I wish
literally.
It's a KFC bucket with like a Michael Myers mask. Yeah, there's no picture of him on here, but
Makes me want chicken.
Yeah. I don't know where he gets his KFC bucket because they don't make those anymore.
No.
That's too funny. Oh, they don't make the KFC buckets anymore?
Not the ones that he wears. He wears the vintage ones.
Yeah.
I don't know if he gets it printed somehow. I don't know, but
I guess I haven't been to a KFC, like an actual KFC, in 30 years.
It's probably a good thing. It's probably a good thing.
I just like KFC.
You're not missing much.
Okay, so this next one, I'm actually surprised that Discogs actually has a median price for it. because it is currently banned from sale on Discogs.
Oh,
Wow.
So I think somebody got away with selling this and then never again, because this is an unofficial pressing of a record that I know Rob is going to like, because he has an OG copy of another record by this band that we've talked about, because his wife, I think, convinced him to buy it. And that is Firehouse.
Oh yeah.
This is the Hold Your Fire album, but you have the I forget what it is, but this is an unofficial pressing. Richard was talking because there's a record that's going to come up later. You were talking about your last one where you're like, I don't know why anybody would pay that kind of money for this because it's really not that good of a record. I actually have one of those coming up later, so I wasn't like ignoring you while you were talking, but I was trying to figure out if there was any other copies of this unofficial thing for sale anywhere. I can't find this unofficial pressing on eBay or Amazon. It's not on either one of them. There is OG 1992 copies of this Firehouse Hold Your Fire. If you want a first press of this album on eBay right now, there's one selling for $584 and some odd cents Canadian. So yeah, it's unofficial. I bought it from a store in Halifax online. It's unofficial, but you know what, Rob, I think you and I have talked about this. I don't feel bad about doing it because
Nope.
they've never repressed it. It's never been done. The only way to get it is if you do it unofficially, unless you're willing to spend $550 on one, and I'm not willing to do that. So it does come on the Fire Engine Orange.
Nice.
You know, it's got one of those weird labels on it too, where it has side A and B songs all on the one side of the label, but doesn't tell you which side is A or B. So unless you know what the album is, you wouldn't know. But yeah, the unofficial price on Discogs sold for just short of $70 Canadian. But OG pressings of that album on eBay are $550.
There's a Korean first press for 162, which is still insane. So their self-titled album. My wife has an OG, and they're hundreds upon hundred, like $500. And we picked it up at an antique mall, like one of those, they got all the different vendors set up, and we were just browsing. And she goes, "Ooh, Firehouse! I'm going to pick it up." And it's that '80s vinyl that's so bloody thin, like you take the record and you think, "Whoa!" Right? And she bought it for $5.
Jeez.
$5. And she scored a few finds that are like that. And she just bought it because she loved the album, and then we found out later that it was worth a crazy amount. They reissued it last year or the year before for the first time, and I bought the reissue. But yeah. But I'm with you, Daryl. If it's not available and there's an unofficial, I'll buy it. I have a few with some other artists, same thing. So
yeah,
I'm with you on that, man. Okay. Next on my list. I knew this was going to be on the list. I love this record, and most people hate it. Aerosmith's Honkin' on Bobo. This is their blues record. It's all blues covers. I love it. I loved it when it came out. The only time I saw Aerosmith in concert was on this tour, and they were bloody fantastic. And I bought this on vinyl. So this came out in 2004. And I bought this probably in 2005, maybe 2006, and I think I probably paid like $40 for it. I have never seen another copy anywhere in the wild ever, probably because it's an album that everybody hates. But according to the old Discogs here, the median price, $242 Canadian.
Yes.
Yeah, and it goes as high as like 370. So, yeah, it's I like it. It's because Aerosmith is at its core blues rock back in the day, and so this is them paying tribute sort of to to the blues standards that kind of inspired them. So I have every Aerosmith album on vinyl, and you're going to see another one in a few minutes. It's even more expensive than this one. So there are three that are hard to find, and I have all three of them. Okay. We're going to go back to Richard now.
Hey. All right. We're going to go to California, and we're going to go to my favorite genre on the face of the planet, shoegaze. So this album is by a band called Whirr, WHIRR. They were kind of a controversial band on social media because they really bashed the transgender community badly. And the backlash was immediate and swift. They were dropped from their label. They're kind of an independent band now. I think they're releasing their stuff on their own label. But it's kind of on the darker side of shoegaze. Isn't just that ethereal dream poppy type stuff. It's along the lines of groups like Dive and a couple of the other. Nothing would be similar. So Nothing, Dive, and Whirr are very much on the same boat. I saw these guys open for Nothing. It was amazing. I loved it. But that being said, this one, another thing about Whirr is they're one of those bands that releases their records in small batches and then they go out of print. Then they put them out again and they go out of print again. So getting these is tricky. This is a first issue, I think, from 2020. So, is there anything special about it? I know, it's on white vinyl, which is, I have a love-hate with white vinyl because you really can't see what's going on with it when you're trying to get it, what have you. I bought this off of Discogs, and the seller had put that it had a slight warp that impacted play, but I'll give you a discount, yada, yada. I want to say I got it for about $30. So why does my iPad shutting down when I'm in the middle of presenting? It's so rude. Come on, wake up. So I think I paid about $30, give or take. And I played it. It sounds fantastic to me. Median on the sucker is 185. The high end, 362. Low end's about 80, and 7 copies for sale right now for $150. They just did a reissue campaign, so if you went on their website a couple of weeks ago, you could pick it up for under $30. So it's one of those bands where it's wait, keep monitoring their website. I picked up another one from them. They did an album called Sway many years ago, and I could never get my hands on it, and I finally picked it up for under $30 plus shipping, of course. But yeah, so some shoegaze from Whirr out of California. There you go. It's only money, right?
It's only money. Ryan's comment here: I keep my collection off Discogs. I found it would kind of become obsessed with the low, medium, high thing. I get that. I never look at the values of anything. That's why I was kind of surprised by this. But without Discogs, I'd be sunk because there's a lot of times I'm at a record shop. I'm like, do I have this? Do I not have this? So I kind of need it for. But yes, I'm with you on this one. I enjoy collecting more and not knowing that in.
Yeah.
I buy the records to listen to. I could probably count on, aside from my Beatles stuff, one hand the number of records I have because they're collectible. I buy them to listen to. So I get what you're saying. It's too easy to become obsessed, especially when you're on the front page of Discogs and it says your collection is worth. Medium and high. It's it tells me my collection is worth $30,000. I'm like, the hell it is. No, there's no way. You'd have to sell every single record. Who cares what it's worth? I don't care what it's worth. To me, it's priceless, and that's all that matters. So, okay, Tim.
All right. This one I've shown before. I don't remember when, but I mean, these guys are awesome. Rob, you're gonna know who this is. Daryl, you're gonna know who this is. Well, I mean, even Richard will know who this is. This record, it's the best that they've got since this member left. We all know they're never the same.
You're going to show Gordon.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gordon.
I knew it.
Yeah, $300 this goes for.
That's insane.
Crazy. And there's only one copy on Discogs right now for sale, and they want $550. The highest value is $621.
And that's never going to be, and that'll never be repressed in a million years.
No way. Like what?
No,
Had they pressed this in the first place, and why won't they do it again?
Well, because I think you're going to have a hard time getting Page and the rest of the guys to agree on anything.
Yeah.
I would have thought when they did the one-off reunion for the Canadian Hall of Fame, I would have thought that would have at least thawed some tensions a little bit and allowed for some reissues or whatever, but apparently it hasn't. So I can't stand the Bare Naked Ladies. I think they're a joke, but
yeah.
I like Page, but as a band, I think I've seen them.
Yeah, Stephen Page, he carries
the
these
talent.
guys.
Yeah, absolutely. They're a joke without him.
Yeah. And yeah, I think I bought this. It was printed, according to Discogs, it was printed in 2017. But I think I bought it over COVID. 2019, 2020 is kind of when I bought it. There was a lockdown and our record store kept posting flip videos of stuff. And I'm like, I'll take that.
Yeah, that's a pretty landmark Canadian album for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Especially
we've talked about the whole Speaker's Corner thing and stuff like that. That's
and the yellow tape
how it
and whatever.
gained fame.
It's a slightly different cover than the one I'm used to. The original cover has them on the bottom here doing all weird stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know why they changed that here. I don't know the story behind that. I don't know if you do, Rob.
I have no idea. Probably because they couldn't stand to be together in person. They didn't want to be together on the album artwork.
Yeah, maybe.
Who knows?
Yeah, $300 for this. It's insanity. But it is a good album. But if people that want it on vinyl might pay it. I don't know. But
it's always one I'm watching for because my wife would love a copy.
Yeah, I mean it's There's not a bad song.
I keep saying, hold your breath, dear.
Yeah.
Or you walk into one of those antique malls and just come across a $5 copy somehow.
Oh, I wish.
I'm sure that if you saw one of those for $5, you'd be like, yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
All right. So this next band, kind of like Tim and Richard, like your last choices. I mean, they're kind of a divisive band in the sense that a lot of people either like these guys or they really don't. They come part of that whole 90s alternative, I guess maybe I don't want to call it the Brit pop thing because I wouldn't classify these guys as Brit pop, but I consider them more rock and alternative, I guess. But this is a 2008 American pressing of Radiohead's Pablo Honey, which I'm surprised is, I mean, it's just under $80, $75 or whatever it is Canadian. But on Discogs, once again, we talk about the high selling prices. This has gone for as much as 130 Canadian. But right now, like I was just looking, there's 36 copies available on Discogs right now. And if I filter it by price, ascending, like check this out. The first one at the top is 255 euros.
What?
That's for a 2008 pressing. So it's kind of funny because I mean this is their big shtick, right? With Creep and a lot of those other songs that are on it. But it's just baffling to me that right now, like if you want a near mint copy, if you're Canadian, it's going to cost you I mean, what's 255 euro? That's like $350 or something like that. It's
Something
just
like
crazy.
that. Yep.
So yeah, I mean, do I think that record is worth $300 Canadian? No, not a chance. Not even an OG pressing of this would be worth that to me. It's Radiohead, which I mean, I like Radiohead, but I don't know how. I mean, to each their own, but I just don't know how somebody can justify spending 350 Canadian on a Radiohead album. It's just kind of crazy to me.
Crazy.
Well, one of the
But you
things
know,
I think is
when you think
happening,
about
I think
it,
a lot of
I showed
people
you
are
guys that
now.
price. I showed you guys that price. I know that's one of the big things about Discogs right now. Lots of people won't buy off of it anymore because the prices have just gone, bam,
Yeah.
through the roof.
And the thing is, just because someone's asking for it
Right.
doesn't mean you could put up a Nickelback record and ask $1,000. I mean,
Well, I mean, I'd buy that. I mean,
I know you would. I don't think it's worth a nickel, but anyway.
But one thing I think is happening is that a lot of people are now really, a lot of reissues are coming out, and for me, I'm fine with a reissue that I can get for $30. Why would I pay $350 for an
Absolutely.
OG? But if you're in the market, you must have, like you were saying, Rob, with like first press Beatles, first press Radiohead. That there, I'm sure there's people that want that, but that's a lot of money for something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Next on my list, nothing exciting about this record, and I've shown it before, another British band. Speaking of the Brit pop wars, as Daryl mentioned, I am a massive Oasis fan, and I would love, to Richard's point, there's not many things I want a first press of, but what I want is a first press of the first 3 Oasis albums. I do not have a first press of What's the Story of Morning Glory. I do not have a first pressing of Definitely Maybe, but I do have a first pressing of Be Here Now. I got this like 15, 20 years ago almost now. And I think I paid maybe $60 or $70 20 years ago, which that's a stupid amount of money for a record back then. But when I look at Discogs now, and again, the median price that it has sold for in Canadian dollars is $247, which is, call it $200 American probably. That's insane. I have reissues of I have the anniversary edition of all of their first few albums. But just because this band, like the Beatles, is very, very important to me. So those first 3 albums, which I consider to be almost perfect, I would love OGs just for the historical significance. So maybe someday I'll get the other 2, but at least I've got one of the original 90s pressings of Oasis album. So Ryan's point is absolutely right. Expensive record doesn't necessarily mean desirable. Exactly. And desirable doesn't mean expensive either. So it's worth what someone will pay for it. And I'll reiterate what I said off the top. We're not saying this is what these things are worth to us. It's a fun exercise to see what some of the records that we own have sold for. Not saying that we agree that that's what they should sell for. So to that end, we're going to go back to Richard. I will be back in 30 seconds. I'm just going to go say goodnight to my son. But the floor is yours, sir.
And rare doesn't necessarily mean expensive either. Like there's some incredibly rare records that are very inexpensive, and they're very rare.
Or
we were talking. What was it earlier in the show? You were talking about that Stompin' Tom record. I have the hockey song one.
Yeah.
It's not even anywhere in this. It's not in this pile. And yet you've never seen a copy of it.
Never.
If one came up for sale, what do you think it would sell for?
I have no idea. Do you know what it goes for, Daryl? Does it? Is it?
The Stompin' Tom one? No idea. No idea.
Oh well. All right, moving on. hey, I'm going to come to Canada and Rush
Hey.
counterparts. And this, for me, this was an era of Rush that I'm not going to say I ignored. I think I was in just a different mindset musically at the time. Counterparts, Test for Echo, and Roll the Bones, and all of those came out. It was just not what I was listening to too much. So I picked these up later on CD and then wanted to go back and get the vinyl. Well, of course, they were all out of print. This is actually a reissue from 2015 and double album, not a gatefold. How rude. And these are on like 200-gram vinyl. They weigh a ton. So Atlantic, they're not on Anthem. I don't know if these got reissued on Anthem or not in Canada. But who knows? What else is in here? I love this album. This era of Rush actually started becoming a favorite really fast. Just insert wordage, as Ben Rankins calls it, pictureage, and that's it. But I remember these coming out, and they were readily available on Amazon. And I want to say I paid in the range of the 30s, so even 35. And I picked up this one. I picked up Presto. I picked up Roll the Bones, all together, and they were all the same issue from about the same time. But this is now at a median of 189 US, high end 341.
What?
But then you get the outliers where the lowest it ever sold was for $15. I'm like, what? Who sold it? What was it? Just the cover and no vinyl? I don't know.
You never know, right?
And right now there's 33 copies selling for around 80 US. But these just got a massive reissue campaign last January. So Presto, Roll the Bones, this, Snakes and Arrows, and a couple of others were reissued yet again, and they were 49 maybe. So then it comes down to now this being a repress and selling for $300. Why? But start 33 copies online, starting at $80. I'm thinking 80 is too much for this when you can go out and get a repress that might arguably sound better and be in better shape. Unless you're buying, finding a steel copy of this would probably be expensive. That I understand, but I don't understand that mentality of going out to spend $300, $400, $500 on even a reissue. I don't even know if there was an OG vinyl, because some of those albums in the 90s were never issued on vinyl. So some of those could be first time ever issued on vinyl.
Right. So
there's that too. But it surprised me. I remember before that recent set of reissues came out, those albums were selling for really stupid money. And I would say the median price was probably in almost the 300, because I remember there was a time Counterparts and Roll the Bones were two of my most expensive records on Discogs, and I was like, what? So
What did I miss there, Richard? What did you show?
You missed I Came to Canada and Rush Counterparts.
Yeah.
Vinyl copy from 2015.
Right on.
Yeah. So
cool.
Yeah.
My uncle has multiple copies of all the Stompin' Toms album, never considered their value. I don't know if they're worth a lot. They're just hard to find.
You can never find them.
I've never found the hockey song.
No.
Never. Some of my Megaforce Metallica first pressings are ridiculous. Also, early grunge pressings are silly. Yes, they are. Well, that's the early 90s, right? When nothing was being pressed on vinyl. So.
Yeah, there's an OG copy of that one of the first grunge bands there. What is it? Green River. I think their self-titled album is just insane anywhere. Yeah, it's hard to find. And I don't know if that's ever been repressed. I think it maybe once.
I think it got a record store day issue, but I could be wrong.
Mhm.
All right, Tim, what you got?
All right. We're starting to enter the Beatles collection territory now.
Oh boy.
So, what did you guys take on this album?
I want
love
that
it.
so bad.
I love it. And you're going to see it in a little while.
Okay, you got it too.
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't remember. Yeah, I got this not right when it came out, but pretty.
I bought it the day it came out.
Did you?
Yep.
Okay, I think this was another one of those. Like, I don't remember. I honestly don't remember where I got this, but it was a while ago. Do I like it? Yeah, I mean it's all right. I like it. I prefer the original.
Oh no.
I don't know. I find that the mix for this, like, they kind of bring Paul out more.
Well, yes, because this was kind of Paul's vanity project, right? This was him going, no, this is how I wanted Let It Be to sound.
Yeah, and like the two of us, I don't like, because you can barely hear John.
Love it.
But like, there's certain aspects of this record that are good. Yeah, and the whole fly on the wall thing is it's just.
I don't
funny.
care for the fly on the wall thing, but I just love. I don't even listen to the regular version of Let It Be anymore. I listen to Let It Be Naked.
Really?
Yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it.
Full gatefold. Yeah, it was nice touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, just black wax.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one. So this is on your list too, Rob?
It is.
Yeah. Median is like $300. $305. Max is $550. $533. $533 max. And there's 44 on sale starting at $242.
Is yours the US pressing?
Mine is,
Because my numbers are different.
your numbers are different. Mine is the European.
Yeah, so is mine. And I have different numbers on here.
Weird. What do you have?
Yeah. Mine says 276 is the median price.
CAD?
Canadian, yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
This is 302.
Weird. I'll take 302 then.
Weird, eh?
Bizarre.
It's the 2003 European.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weird.
Weird.
That's messed up.
Who knows? Again, it doesn't actually mean that's what it's worth, but
Yeah.
I've seen a few copies for sale, and they're around $300. So, yep.
Yeah.
I'm really wishing I had bought that when it came out, and I was not in my Beatles phase. So I'm just like,
Yeah. I think I just found this at a record show or something back like 10, 15 years ago. And they just didn't there was a really cool found, like, the Wingspan collection. I found that at a record show for like $30.
I would like to
Like,
get
I'll
that
take
because
that.
that'd be neat.
that's
I've
all
never-
I need.
I've never seen it other than at this record show, and he must have had it jammed in. He had it jammed in the milk crate. I'm like, I'll take that. So I don't know if he misplaced it or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it must have been one of those kind of finds because I don't remember where I got this.
Good evening, gentlemen. Hello. And I'm coming from Vancouver Island. Thanks for the show. Welcome. Love when our fellow Canadians join us. So, whoa, you guys have just pulled the veil back on Discogs. 2 different prices for the same record. What the? I know it's got to be fixed. It's a scam. Down with Discogs. Or whatever.
It's a conspiracy.
Are we watching the hockey playoffs in the background? No, because my Habs don't play until tomorrow night. We'll be watching them then. And my Jays were rain delayed last time I checked. So, okay, Daryl.
Okay, so this next one was actually my Christmas gift from my wife this year. It's a soundtrack. One of my favorite movies and probably the most my wife has ever spent on a vinyl record for me. But the median price is actually much less than she paid for it because she bought a near mint copy of this. So probably one of my top 3 movies of all time is the Bloodsport soundtrack. Sorry, Rob, no Grease 2 here.
Should be Grease too.
No Grease 2. But the median price on this is $86. And copies of this are currently going for on Discogs. Lowest price is $124 on Discogs right now if you want to buy one. Other than that, you're paying for some euros. But I don't know what it is about this. If I play this, what I think is hilarious about this this pressing, I think it's a 2021, kind of a cool looking smoke wax on it. One of those cool. But I don't know if you guys, have you all seen the movie?
Oh yeah.
No. So there's a scene in it where Jean-Claude Van Damme and the guy that plays Ray Jackson are playing this arcade machine, and it's this karate arcade machine. Well, the label on it is the arcade picture of the game.
That's a nice touch.
It's kind of cool. If memory serves me correctly, I think that this is also in 45 RPM as well. I don't think it's 33s. But yeah, it's a pretty cool smoke. The thing for me is I can recite pretty much every line from that movie. So when I play the soundtrack, I always repeat what's going on. And so this one's a kind of a red smoke as well. So, and then of course there he is, karate kicking in the air on the label. So it's kind of neat. But it is 45 RPM. And this is on an MGM label, so the movie itself. But yeah, no, it's basically just the soundtrack of all the main points in the movie, and then of course you got all the characters on there, and of course the guy right there in the middle that played Ray Jackson, he died last week. So it's almost gone with an era there. So yeah, one of my favorite soundtracks, and median value is $85 Canadian on Discogs, but currently selling at minimum for $120. It is the score. It is the score by Paul Herzog. So it's not the soundtrack; it's the score.
Since you so nicely mentioned Grease too, thanks for the segue. If anyone wants to buy that, you can get it on Discogs for about $3. But I happened as I was
What's
looking
the
that
shipping
up,
on it, Rob? What's the shipping?
who knows more than the record. But I've just learned something that apparently there was an anniversary reissue of the Grease 2 soundtrack on pink vinyl in 2022 that now sells for $120. We're just going to add that to my want list because I need that. Not for $127, but it's on like a pink swirl vinyl. So, I mean, that's what you need when Michelle Pfeiffer's singing Cool Rider. Okay, next on my list, this gentleman will be making his second appearance this evening, but it's a different record. We mentioned a Canadian wanker, Mr. Bryan Adams. 18 Till I Die from 1996. I've never seen another copy of this. I've never seen another copy for sale. I bought this in probably 1998. I love this album. It's pretty good. It has obviously 18 Till I Die. It also has The Only Thing That Looks Good on Me Is You. Have You Ever Really Loved a Woman? Man, I hate that song.
It's brutal.
Brutal. But then there's other classics like I Want to Be Your Underwear, which is a great song. I do really like this record a lot. One of my favorite Bryan Adams records. This is absolutely mint. Like there's not a friggin' mark on this thing anywhere. According to this, the median price is $253 Canadian.
Jeez.
If you're paying $253 for a Bryan Adams record,
Yeah.
I question your sanity.
Yeah.
And that's speaking as a Bryan Adams fan. I don't think I would pay more than $50 for Bryan Adams' record, to be quite honest. Yeah, so kind of crazy. I've got 2 copies of the OG Tracy Chapman album. Last time I looked, is stupidly priced. Yes, that one is.
Yeah.
Because it's a great sounding album,
Mhm.
first of all.
Yep.
But, so I think my vote is now in for Bryan Adams to name his next album Canadian Wanker.
There you go.
No? I am not a huge fan of this band, and I could not honestly tell you why I bought this. Because I have this album on CD, and I do like it, and I think I have another copy of this that was a Vinyl Me Please selection of the month or whatever during the short run of time when I was in there. And it's Weezer's Pinkerton. But this is the super deluxe 4-album version. What is this? Deluxe 4-piece gatefold packaging featuring photography, song lyrics, liner notes, reproduction of a letter by Rivers Cuomo from the era. Ooh, ah. It has, I mean, if you ever wanted like Pinkerton overload, this is kind of like, some of those, McCartney box sets that have 14 albums plus the original album, and, take 12 of whatever song when somebody burped or whatever, and they cut it off and laughed and they kept it. It's almost that bad. I think there's like a high school auditorium live set that's on here too. So it's a little overkill, but giant. I have never seen a quad gatefold. But anyway, what is this animal worth? I can't even remember how much I paid for it, and like I said, I can't even remember why I bought it, because it was not. I have copies and copies of this. Okay, median 194, high 350, a low of 110. I can imagine a 4 LP deluxe edition that had to set me back at the time. This came out in 2010. So $50-$60, I'm guessing. 5 copies for sale right now for $200. You can have the super deluxe Weezer Pinkerton all of your own. Why do I have it? I don't know. I can't honestly think. I don't even know if I played the whole thing because I have.
I'm trying to remember what the big song off that even was. Is it the Pink Triangle song? Or whatever it was called?
I don't know. I didn't know there was going to be a test.
All right. Well, we're still entered Beatles territory a little bit. This record came out in 2001, I believe. Yep, 2001. I bought this. Where did I buy this? This might have been a Discogs purchase about 15 years ago when I first started getting into record collecting, 15, 20 years ago. And I'm like, okay, well, being a McCartney fan, I have to own everything. So back then, things were affordable. And this sucker, this is a terrible record. I don't know if you guys remember. You guys don't follow McCartney stuff too much, eh?
Oh, I do, sort of.
No.
Depends on what it
this
is.
record, or anything special to the record. This record came out when he was with Heather. And yeah, don't let this is actually like one of those like pocket. This is taken from one of those pocket camera things. And then in the back, it's just a collection of all his like all these pictures that he took with his pocket. And it's very grainy. I don't know. The album's pretty terrible. It's one of his worst. Even all the fans like collectively say this is probably one of the worst records in his entire discography. Driving Rain. This ridiculous album, if you want to torture yourself to listen to from beginning to end, will cost you a median of $327 to a maximum of $524.
Good Lord.
And
It's insane.
it's like,
It's 327 reasons to not torture myself.
Right?
yeah,
Exactly.
it's not like bad music per se. It's just when you compare it to the rest of his discography, it's just not good. It's just not good. There's no.
And I don't remember it selling all that well when it first came out.
I don't think it did, Richard. I don't think
Yeah.
it really did. Yeah, like I had to really like when I bought this record on CD originally when it first came out. I had to really listen to it 10 times, thinking it's got to be good, right? It's got to be good, right? It's one of those albums, and I just to the point where no, it's really not. It has moments like there's some okay songs, but if you're gonna listen to McCartney, you're not gonna listen to this album.
Mm-hmm.
Driving Rain. Yeah, it was during his Heather Mills era.
Yep.
Well, speaking of Paul McCartney, this is not a Paul McCartney album, but it has ties to Paul McCartney. Median price on this one is $86.25 Canadian. I don't even know if there's any of these on sale on Discogs right now. 10 copies starting at 64 Canadian. But I got this as part of the we'll just say that I had permission to take things from this location once. Now, speaking of this situation, my wife was telling me, because she works at the college where the old station is. It sounds like the purge of that whole thing might be coming soon in the next couple of months, where they might be getting rid of it. So she is going to unlock the door for me so I can go through it one last time and see if there's anything that I missed. And I might go through the 45s, but I don't think I'm going to take that many because I don't collect 45s. But I'll see if there's anything good there. But this here is an album by I would call it maybe like jazz orchestral kind of music. A guy by the name of Percy Thrills Thrillington. And the album cover looks like this. It's an album called Thrillington.
Nice.
And basically, this is a reimagining of Paul McCartney's Ram album.
Well, that is a Paul McCartney album. That is him.
Yeah. But this is his reimagining of it. It basically, according to this, on this record, Percy takes the themes from Paul McCartney's Ram, and with the help of some of London's best musicians, has an unmistakable imprint of that album. So this is kind of their own doing. It's an orchestral maneuver. So, and dun, 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 it's a promo copy. So yeah, it's $86, but the $86 one on Median is not the promo copy. So maybe just maybe that bumps it up to $100. that little sticker, because it's a sticker that's on there. But I was listening to this earlier because I was like, I don't really remember listening to this, and it's not bad. It's not great, but if you like orchestral, jazzy, instrumental music, and I paid $0 for this because I got it as part of that purge. So I think it's pretty neat. I'll let you guys know in the coming weeks if I find anything else from there.
Right on.
Yeah. Has anybody else seen that Thrillington album before?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've got it.
Tim's the McCartney expert. He'll have it.
You have it?
They did a color vinyl. They did a color vinyl repress of it.
Okay. No, that's an OG, that one.
That's an OG. That's good, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm doing a 3 for here because they're all related and they're all in my top 12. So we'll start with volume 1 of this particular work of audio art. Billy Bragg and Wilco. Mermaid Avenue. So this is when Wilco and Billy Bragg got together and they took a bunch of Woody Guthrie lyrics and put them together with new music and sort of unfinished songs that they realized. Done in the early to mid 90s. This is volume 1. It had a minor hit for Wilco on here called California Stars, which is a great song. So originally these were released, they've been released twice on vinyl. So the original release was back in 1990, I don't know, there's no copyright date, 1994 or whatever, and then they were reissued in 2013. This is the reissue. So this is volume 1, which has a median price of $272. Then there is volume 2, which has a median price of $193. And then there's volume 3, which has a median price of $137. All absolutely insane. They're all good. I listen to volume 1 frequently. I don't listen to volume 2 or 3 that much. It's not that they're bad, because they're not. But once you've heard volume 1, 2 and 3 is kind of more of the same. So, yeah. I should get these autographed because my buddy Bob, who was a member of Wilco at the time, played on all 3 of these. I should get him to sign all 3 of these so then I can have expensive autographed albums like Tim. But, yeah. If you ever find one of these Mermaid albums, grab it, especially volume 1, because they're really, really good. I think. If you like Wilco or if you like Billy Bragg. And it's early Wilco. It's not when they got weird. So, Tim, I have multiple copies of Band on the Run and Rim.
Yeah.
Any other recommendations post Beatles? Yeah,
Right.
John Lennon.
Like, yeah, which Beatle and if it's Paul McCartney, is it Wings or is it solo or is it?
I think he's looking for your expertise.
I would if and what do you like? Because depending on what you like, I would recommend different things too. Because he's got 26 albums or something like that. My personal favorite I love the one that Nigel Godrich did, produced Chaos and Creation in the Backyard. That's one of my favorites.
I like that too. I was really into that album.
It's a great album.
Yeah.
Flaming Pie was really good. I know you're not a fan, Rob, but Flaming Pie is excellent.
I don't mind Flaming Pie. I have 2 copies of it, so
yeah.
Yeah, he's just looking for McCartney records.
Chaos and Creation, Flaming Pie.
Tug of War is pretty good.
Tug of War's got moments. It's really good. Like, the B-sides are almost better than the A-sides. Yeah. Venus and Mars is really good. Yeah. Those are the ones that come immediately to mind. But yeah, Chaos and Creation, Flaming Pie, if you haven't heard those, definitely check those out.
Hi, everybody. I looked down at my stacks and I realized I hadn't pulled this album yet. And I was like, where the hell is it? And it was still in my in the other room. Go figure. Hey, it wouldn't be a live stream or a Richard's Vinyl Tap House anything if I don't mention Gary Newman. So here we are. And this is right now, this is like one of the hardest albums to find of Gary Newman's discography. This is Splinter, Songs from a Broken Mind. I had it signed when I saw him here in Denver on this tour. And I call it the steampunk tour because it was just so out there. This is Gary Newman. This is not Cars Gary Newman. This is not machine music Gary Newman. This is industrial, heavy, dark, thick, with a lot of crunch and punch, Gary Newman. This is the industrial side of Gary Newman. And I absolutely love this album, and I love this whole era of Newman since he's gone kind of his more gothic industrial songs. There were a couple of songs. Love, Hurt, Bleed was a video that you just have to see to believe. It's so good. Then they're not. I mean, he's not a singles guy at this point. He just kind of puts out a promotional video of a song and kind of goes with it. But I love this album. So, what is this puppy worth? Again, I bought this new as soon as I could find it. This wasn't released in the States, if I recall correctly, and I had to order it probably from overseas, and it was fairly expensive. But right now, you're sitting at a median of $210 US, high end $400, and right now there are 6 copies for sale, starting at $309. Double album. Just black vinyl, but very cool artwork. I love his image and during this whole era. Now, add to the fact that this is a signed copy, I'm sure my copy is probably worth more. Do I care? No. Am I selling it? Hell no. So there you have it. Gary Newman, one of my favorite all-time artists in recorded music history. So there.
Yeah. All right. Okay, we're starting to get into some pretty heavy territory here. Say what you will about this artist. I love this artist. This record sucks, and I think it's just due to like his signing with. I think he needed to put out another album to complete his contract, because it's like 3 or 4 regular songs, and then the rest of it is just remixes from his last album that came out a couple of years prior, and it's just a bunch of filler, and it's completely crap. But that's Michael Jackson's Blood on the Dance Floor.
Oh, yes.
The tracks off this album are really, really good, and then it's just like 7 songs of just utter filler, and it's unmemorable crap. But I like this. I like this album because there's a song called Morphine, and it's basically like him admitting his addiction to morphine. But like literally, he's like, take the needle, stick it in, and watch me pass it. Like the lyrics are really dark, and it's almost like a cry for help. But no one gave a shit about him, so it's really, really sad. This record. Median is $351. The max is over $1,000, and 2 are for sale right now for an asking price of $920.
Oh my god!
It's
never seen that.
It's really only half an album, really, because the other half the album is complete filler. They're just remixes of his last album. But so side 1 is the only new material. Yeah. But yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that album ever. I honestly think that's the first time I've ever seen it.
Yeah, it's
I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah. Had to have it because it's part of the collection. But
Well, Rob, so Tim mentioned that he's getting into some really big territory here. Well, I'm getting into some big territory too. This is the last album I'm going to show that is less than $100.
I've entered 4 digits and you've entered 3 digits.
Now, I've shown this album before, and I will honestly say, there was a guy that used to sell records on Etsy. He had a shop outside of BC somewhere, and it was the same shipping cost no matter where in Canada, and no matter how many records you bought. He had the spreadsheet and it had all the prices. So I paid $5 for this thing, and then whatever the shipping was, along with the other 30 records that I got in a box. And I've mentioned that this is one of the few records I own that I have never been able to listen to through its entirety. I've never listened to side 2 because I can't get into it. It's cold wave, ambient, dark synth, and just utterly strange. Like there's no lyrics except for maybe in a few songs. It's got a really weird cover. It's a band called Black Marble. It's mainly like it's a music project more than it is a band per se, and it's called A Different Arrangement. It's called A Different Arrangement for a reason, because this album is shit. It is absolutely. I mean, if you're into dark wave and synth, dark synth and stuff, I mean, that might be for you. But I have tried time and again. So like I said, I paid $5 for this. And of course the backside has some kind of a galaxy or whatever it is, and just the boring song tracks that are on there. Although it's not the most boring back cover that I've ever owned. But right now on Discogs, it is currently $88.78 Canadian. So I am ahead $83 on this, but its highest value was $160 Canadian. So
Wow.
I don't know. I mean, I know that on these shows we usually like to try to recommend albums. This is not one that I'm going to recommend to very many people. Maybe Richard. Richard, you might like this weird, cold synth pop stuff. I don't know, but I can't. I don't even think I could sell it to you.
I remember you showing that probably about a year ago, and I think I streamed it, and I kind of went, "That was interesting," and then I don't think I've ever listened to it since. But
It's just so weird. Like the only way that I can explain it is exactly that. Just stream it. You're gonna know within the first 2 seconds if you're gonna like it or not.
Yeah.
It's anyway, it is worth 88 Canadian median value. And then we're moving into triple digits.
Okay. More Canadian content. Band I may have talked about once or twice or 487 times. Another Blue Rodeo record, and I knew this was going to be there. Not their best work, let's be honest. This is Are You Ready? I absolutely hate the album cover. From 2005. It's a mostly acoustic album. I rarely listen to it. There is the title track "Are You Ready" is good, and the song "Can't Help Wondering Why" is pretty good. The rest of it, not a giant fan. Again, this was only produced for them to sell on the tour. I've 3 copies of this. There's this copy. There's a copy on the wall autographed by the entire band. There's also a copy in my wife's collection autographed by the entire band. I may have purchased 2 of these. The 2 autographed copies were purchased on the tour. This playable copy, again, because my friend was in the band, he may have hooked me up with a playing copy of this so my autograph copy could stay hanging on the wall. So the 2 Blue Rodeo albums on vinyl that very hard to find, Days in Between and Are You Ready? Quite expensive. According to Discogs, $276 Canadian. Don't know if they'll ever get reissued. There's still a portion of their catalog that's never been on vinyl. Warner has no plans to put any of that out for whatever reason. So if you ever stumble across a copy of Blue Rodeo's Are You Ready? Pick it up. It's expensive if you're a Blue Rodeo fan. So not their best work, but yeah. Richard.
Fair enough. We're going to go to the UK with this one. This was a Record Store Day issue from 2017. It was one of my most anticipated ones of that year. And it's by the Sundays. And the Sundays put out 3 core albums: Reading, Writing, Arithmetic, this, and Static and Silence was the third one. And they released them like 3 Record Store Day reissues in a row on different color vinyl. So this is Blind. This album, I'm right. The final track is Wild Horses. This is a cover of the Rolling Stones song. This is the most beautiful version of Wild Horses you will ever hear. Harriet Wheeler's voice is stunning on this album, on all of their albums. You appreciate the Sundays for their musicianship, but it's Harriet Wheeler's voice. It's kind of like the Elizabeth Fraser of the Cocteau Twins, where it just sells it. So Blind, it came out on, they call it gold vinyl. To me, it looks like something else, but we won't go there. What is this puppy worth? Let's see. Now, this used to be really, really high because this is one of the ones where people were just dying to get this and couldn't get it. Median on this is 205, the highest 350. 13 copies selling right now for $100. But they just reissued all 3 of their records in January for let's say they're $30 each. Probably just as good, if not better, pressings than these because they're, several years old now. Technology and printing presses are getting better for vinyl. But yeah, that's an example of, when this was just the only way you could get it, it was $300, $400 record. So yeah, that whole scarcity thing when it comes to expensive records, it's, it all comes down to availability, what's out there, and how badly people want it. Supply and demand.
Okay, Tim.
Great. This record's one of my favorite records of all time. This is not the copy that's worth this much money. I have like 5 copies of this album, and I champion this band all the time. Anytime I can get, I'll champion this band, and that's Jellyfish.
Oh, I love that.
I knew you were going to go there.
Spilt Milk. This record is incredible, front to back. Actually, I think you actually play it when you start the album. It starts as like a lullaby, like this little like they go into this hush. It's like, don't you cry, like it's like almost like a lullaby, and then as the album fades out at the very end, it goes back around in, so that if you loop the album, it would play as one. Like if you could, like the last few seconds of the last track, the fade out goes into the fade in of the first track. So if you were to loop the album, it would just go for eternity. Anyway, that aside, this record is insane. It's so good. It's production perfection. Anyway, I don't want to overhype it if anyone decides to listen to it, but it's incredible. But this is particular press. This is just a repressing that came out maybe a year ago or so. But the pressing that I have that's autographed, that's put away, median is 368, the high is 794, and 290 is the current price.
Man, wow.
For the original, that's the original pressing.
Right.
And then anytime they repress these, they go like hotcakes.
Yeah, they sell out immediately.
Yeah, so you got to be there when you hear that they're being pressed. You got to kind of, yeah. It's an incredible record. Incredible record.
Well, Daryl, I mean, $500. You're in the $100 now, so.
Yeah.
All right. So, what I can tell you is I'm going to do a 2-for right now, but technically it's a 3-for, and you'll see why in a second. But I will say that collectively, if these were in mint condition, all 3 of these combined would be equivalent to that record that he just showed.
Okay.
Because each of these is worth, one of them is $103.50 median, and the other 2 are $110 median. So most of you that watch, you know that I live in a pretty remote location. In these locations, a lot of indigenous music and things like that. So I spent a total of $1 on all of these. So the first one I'm going to show, I bought at like a thrift store in the town that my daughter lives in. I was just flipping through and I was like, oh, this looks kind of cool. I'll just pick it up. Not knowing that I spent $1 for a record that's worth $103. So it's an album called Music from the Powerhouse, in the spirit of sharing. So it's mainly indigenous music, but if you look on the back side, it's from the 80s. You can tell by the car that's there. There's an old powerhouse and it's on Manitoulin Island, and that's where this was recorded, was on Manitoulin Island by mainly indigenous musicians, Cree musicians and stuff like that. And they did looks like it was part of a festival and things like that. But anyway, if you recall, going back to the late 1970s and early 80s, and that Dolly Parton, Willie Nelson type country music, that's what this is, but with indigenous, not in indigenous language, but indigenous lyrics and stuff like that. There's even a song on here by I forget what it's called. Oh, it's called Hotel, and it's basically about her going into different hotels, and there's certain memories and experiences that she remembers, and some that she'd rather forget. It's just anyway, that's that one, and I don't think most people have ever seen this album. It's not one that you're going to see, and I've never seen it since. Like I said, I paid $1 for it at a thrift store. It's worth $103. And then these next two, the reason I'm doing this as a twofer, but technically it's a threefer, it's because I have 2 copies of this. One I got at a yard sale, and the woman that was working the yard sale was just like, I was like, well, how much do you want for these records? And she's like, I don't know, whatever, take them all for free, because we're just trying to get rid of them. And I didn't know how much it was going to be worth. And then the other one I got at the record station, and I've shown this one before. It's the Goose Wings Songs of James Bay, but I have 2 copies of it. So just so that I'm not shitting you here, that I have 2 copies worth. These are 110 a piece, and I got them all, basically all 3 of those for $1. So you collect them all, I guess. And I found I actually I've seen a 3rd copy of this in Timmins when I was there. I could have bought it for $1. Unfortunately, what happened was there was a person that bought it. They forgot it in the store, and the owner said, I can't sell it to you because just in case they come back, I don't want to have to tell them I sold it. And I went there about a month later, and I said, hey, do you still have that record? Did they come back? And he's like, yeah, they came and picked it up like 2 days after you came by. So, but I could have 3 copies of that.
Okay. Listen, I hate to do this. I hate to show this. And Concert Buddy's joining us. He's probably going to ridicule me for it. But listen. Expensive records, again, subjective. Listen, I'm just going to do it. I'm not embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed because I've admitted that I'm a fan. So you don't like it?
Too bad.
Too bad. This is a 12-inch single. Yeah, I have a lot of Taylor Swift. We'll get into why I like Taylor Swift, but I do like Taylor Swift. So this was when she put out the Folklore album in during the pandemic, and this was the lead single, Cardigan. This is the Cabin in Candlelight version. I believe that that album was recorded during the pandemic. Everyone recorded their parts. Yeah, exactly. Have a drink, Chance. Go for it. the Folklore album was recorded in isolation. Everyone recorded their part and mailed it in. But then eventually, when they were able to, got together and re-recorded the whole thing as the Long Pond studio sessions. Stay tuned. So I think this is what this was, kind of a live off the floor version of it. 12-inch single, was available on our website for a very short period of time, and I ordered it. It's on white vinyl. And bearing in mind, this is a 12-inch single. The value, again, we're not saying this is what it's worth. This is just what people have paid for. And Swifties are crazy. Most of them are young women that are obsessed, and that's fine. I'm glad because she's brought lots of people into music, whatever. But they got a lot of money, and they pay exorbitant prices. So median price, $275 Canadian for a 12-inch single.
Wow.
I bought it off the website for, $15 or whatever the hell it was. So I'm sorry I had to show some Taylor, and it's not going to be the last Taylor that you're going to see tonight. I'm sorry. It is what it is. I had no idea that it was worth that crazy amount of money. Rich, how you doing, man? Welcome. Yeah, I'll look at that neck all day long. All right, we're growing long in the tooth, but that's okay. I don't have anywhere to be. How many more do each of you guys have? You get 3, 4 more? What you got?
I think I have 3.
I
I've got 3 and then 2 honorable mentions.
I got 3 and 1 honorable mention. So why don't we do this? Why don't you do 2 as a speed round, and then we'll do our big finale with the honorable mention and then the one that's the most expensive. Does that make sense?
Ooh, okay.
Because let's keep it complicated at 10 o'clock. So, all right, Richard, speed round. Give us not your most expensive, but
No, I'll give that one, right.
Your other ones.
Okay, I think I got it. So I put that over there. All right, first one, we're going to go to Chicago. It's a shoegaze band that hardly anyone has heard of. It's a group called Ariel. This is a reissue of, I think it was a trio of not CDs, but EPs. I think it was 4. It was 4 EP CDs, if that makes any sense, kind of put together in one package. So it's a 3-album set. And it's called Winks and Kisses. It's it's a combination of several different releases all put together on a single set. It was not stupidly expensive, but and it's only on black vinyl. Recently, they did a color vinyl reissue of the whole thing and put it out on CD. I was tempted to get the CD, but I'm like, I have the vinyl. Why the hell do I need the CD? I'm trying not to do that double dip thing. But so, shoegaze band from Chicago. I want to say this was like maybe $50 when I bought it, give or take. Median $260. The high end $499. 1 copy for sale on Discogs, asking price is $500. It's a lot. It is a very good. It's one of those more hazier shoegaze dream pop type affairs. This other one, my other favorite band of all time, currently of the last 20-some years, and is the mighty Scots Biffy Clyro. Threesome out of Scotland. I love them. I have everything they released. This is a box deluxe edition of their album Only Revolutions. This came out in 2009. I had to order this from England, and God help me if I had to do that now, this would have been ridiculously expensive just for shipping alone. But I don't think it was terribly expensive, if I recall correctly. This is a 1 album, CD, a DVD, and a CD sampler. It has a bunch of extras. I think I showed this on your live stream
did.
before. And it has like
Did,
all
yeah.
the little bits and pieces and a piece of the material from the flag. Yeah. Anyhow, so I'm going to take it all apart because it is really cool, but it's a lot of pieces to it. $243. High end 406. There are none for sale right now. So I could list this right now for $10 billion. And who knows, someone might get it. Absolutely love Biffy Clyro, but there you go. With my duo speed round.
Okay. What's your speed round there, Tim?
Okay, so I'm going to do 2 speed rounds instead of... So I'll do a couple of records, and then I'll do the box sets at the end, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so this one is a big surprise. Savage Garden, the singles.
Oh.
So, what was it, a week or two ago, I showed their debut record. So this is, but they've never, ever pressed Affirmation. So, and they do have songs off Affirmation on this. So yeah, it's just the greatest hits of Savage Garden that currently apparently goes for $420. Up to $720 for a Savage Garden's greatest hits. Yeah. We've got my copy of the Butcher cover, Second State. Is this more? Really? Was this one? Yeah, wow, it's actually less expensive. So this is a Second State Butcher, right? You can sort of see, I don't want to take it out of the plastic, but you can see Ringo's sleeve right there, the V-neck. And then you can actually kind of see over here where they didn't paste it too well. You can sort of kind of see.
Yep.
Yeah. Down here, the edge. They didn't paste it properly. You can sort of see the image underneath. So they didn't put on the sticker properly. This particular copy of Second State Butcher goes for $600, up to $1,700. And then my most expensive vinyl record, so not box set, is The Fireman. Have you heard of The Fireman?
Paul McCartney.
Yeah. So it's a side project with, so it's Paul McCartney and Young or something like that. What's the other guy's name?
Oh, I can't remember.
I think it's Young. Does it actually say on here? No, it's all pretty like, he doesn't have his name anywhere on here. This Fireman record runs for $620 up to $1,400.
Jeez.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah. So this came out in, when did this come out? 1998. So right after the Flaming Pie project, he came out with this under the name Fireman. And it's, I don't want to open it up because there's you'll get censored.
Let's not do that.
Yeah.
All right. Daryl, speed run.
All right, so speed run. I'm going to show one record and one box set. It's the only time I'm going to show a box set. So this one here I was listening to earlier. I didn't see DJ Vinyl Vertigo. I didn't see Scott in the comments, but I think he would appreciate this. I think this would be right up his alley. An album called Larry Williams and Johnny Watson, 2 for the Price of 1. Pretty cool cover when you think about it. Right from the radio station. But the way that I can explain this, if you haven't heard of these guys, it's kind of to me, it's a mix of like Little Richard and Marvin Gaye and the Fifth Dimension, like all of that R&B funk. I mean, it's really cool. I was listening to it. I think it's really good. Now, according to Discogs, median value of this is $110.31. There are 2 copies for sale starting at $153. So there, and this one here, I mean, based on the writing and all that, I mean, this is not $110 cover. this is probably worth about $10. But if it was in mint condition, that's what it would be. And then my box set, I've shown this before. The highest that this is sold on Discogs, I believe, was $450. I paid $40 for this. Median value for this is about 100 and I'd have to take a look here real quick. $143 or $148, and that's Rod Stewart's Storyteller box set. This one comes with a. This is basically the complete anthology up until Vagabond Heart. So everything from the 60s through to the late 80s. It's got a nice booklet, all that in there, and I forget how many discs it is. I think it's either 6 or 8 discs in here. I can't remember, but anyway, it goes all the way up to the one that has like Forever Young and all that on it. So I think it's a pretty cool album. I've never listened to all of them, but I mean, this goes all the way back to the early 60s when he first started as a solo musician. I don't think it has anything on it by when he was with Faces, though. I think it's just straight up him as a solo artist. So yeah, that one there. I don't know if anything's being sold on Discogs right now, but 17 copies starting at $136, but it's gone for as much as 401 Canadian.
Okay. Maybe true, but I think everyone on this panel is listening to the records that we've shown. So at least I can say I am. I don't have them because they're worth anything. I don't give a shit. I have them because I listen to them. So. All right, I got 2 here before we do call it the grand finale. I've never seen another copy of this anywhere. Aerosmith's Just Push Play from 2001. This is the big hit off here. Big hit. Jaded was the single. I love that. I love the later Aerosmith. I know I've mentioned before. There's the hardcore fans are like, after the 70s, Aerosmith sucks. That may be a valid opinion. I grew up in the 80s and 90s, so this was my Aerosmith, and I love all those albums, and I love this album. So, I got this. Like I said, this came out in 01. I probably got this in about like 04 or 05. Never seen another one. According to Discogs, the median value $327 Canadian. Not that album is worthy of that price, but the production run was just so low because in 2001, not a lot of vinyl being pressed.
True.
Okay, I got to do this, folks. I'm sorry, but Discogs says Taylor Swift's Folklore, the Long Pond Studio Sessions. This was a record store day. Yeah, have a drink.
Boring.
Tyler Richie, you're also a Dodgers fan, so the live off the floor recording of Folklore. Again, I love Taylor. This is good. I like it a lot. Record store day release from 2022. The only reason I have this, people went bonkers for it, as they tend to do for Taylor stuff. This is when she wasn't doing 400,000 copies of something for Record Store Day. Good friend of the channel, Music Talk with John, he picked this up at his local for me back on that Record Store Day and shipped it up to me. So thanks to John for this. So I should the value on it, according to this, again, Swifties have a lot of friggin' money, and I don't understand how Swifties have so much money, because I sure as shit don't. But anyway, median value $344 Canadian for a record. Bonkers.
That's crazy. Wow.
That is bonkers. Have any of you bought a release of No Means No Wrong? The OG is worth money. You get a better copper for 40. Great Victoria. I've never even heard of them.
I've heard of it. I don't know what it is.
Progressive punk band from Victoria. What kind of era are we talking about? 90s or?
I can't remember when it first came out.
Yeah. The
Huh.
Victoria punk scene is not my forte, I would say. Okay, the grand finale. Richard, what's your most expensive and any maybe honorable mention you got?
The grand finale is rather anticlimactic because it's a band that probably no one knows, but oh well. I like them a lot. And they're a shoegaze band out of LA called The Meeting Places. And this was a reissue from 2019 on St. Marie Records, which it's one of those labels that I love. They just kept putting out stuff that even original new acts. This is not. This actually originally came out, I want to say it came out in the 90s. So it's not going to say bog standard shoegaze, but it's a very underrated, underappreciated shoegaze band that should have been bigger than they were. And I'll leave it at that. And anticlimactic because they recently did a reissue campaign of their discography too, including this. So you can go on Bandcamp and pick this up brand new for the spiffy low price of like $28. Sweet, go for it. Median right now on this is $200. High end was $400, and one copy for sale on Discogs right now for $399.99 plus shipping and tax, I'm sure. So there you go. I think it's black vinyl. Yep, it is. So there you go. Anticlimactic, but I could always pull out the big box and say, yeah, I got this $1,000 median value beast sitting behind me. So there.
All right. Do you listen to the beast sitting behind you?
I have not. Reason being, it's like you. I have the first run of a lot of them, the ones that I wanted mono copies.
Gotcha.
So I either have remastered mono or remastered stereo or both of the ones that I like the most, and then I have that. So
makes sense.
I have multiple copies of like Sgt. Pepper and Revolver. So it's Beatles fans are like
I have 17 copies of Sgt. Pepper.
So. So there you go. And all of my Sgt. Peppers are either the first mono remastered, the stereo remaster. They did that deluxe remix of it. I love that because it sounds so bright and big. I think it's really good. I have that. So yeah. I have a lot more Beatles than I thought I would ever own.
My favorite is still, and I'm very thankful to own it, I have an original mono UK first press of Pepper. It sounds so good. Sounds so good.
I'm sure it does.
Okay. Tim, bring it home.
All right. So records aside, I'll show a couple box sets. I've shown them already before, but these are, when you look at my Discogs, these are the most expensive.
We knew that was coming.
Yeah.
The accordion.
Oh, wow.
I'll show it one more time. So it's an accordion. Well, it's in a plastic accordion. And it's got... Yeah, go Vic. So when you open it, it's an accordion. And it's basically Weird Al's discography.
That is the coolest
thing ever. God, so neat.
Yeah. So it's pretty wild. And this thing, what does this thing go for? It says median is $1,300 up to $2,900. Yeah. And then I have
to mortgage you have to friggin' sell your house off to buy that.
And then I've shown this before. This is the number one. So it's a wooden crate, with like heavy duty, like whatever these buckle things are, right?
Ratchet straps.
It's basically McCartney's. It's his McCartney. It's a singles collection. So every single that he's come out with, I don't want to open it. It's a bitch.
Oh.
But it runs this way. It's got like styrofoam and like
It's all
like
45s, right?
protection.
Yeah.
They're all 45s.
Yeah.
And then it has a list. That sleeve is a list of all the 45s inside. And yeah, so there's the information there. I have number 1547 of 3,000. I think there's 3,000. Yeah, 3,000. And this thing, it's dumb. This thing runs for...
It's dumb, but I own it.
No, I mean the price is dumb. It's mental.
Oh, okay.
The median price is $2,100 up to $3,300.
My God.
Wow. Good God.
It's pretty cool.
That's your most expensive one,
That's
Tim?
my most expensive, yeah.
Wow.
And then this one's right behind the Weird Al. It's like the Beatles, like
Oh, you got a BC-13
Yeah, I got
box.
one
I
of
want
these,
one
yeah.
of those.
yeah. So I've got one of these.
Is that British, German, or Japanese?
This one is British.
Oh,
And
man.
I've got the singles too as well.
Yeah.
That goes with it. Yeah, I got.
I want both. I want the single. I don't care about the singles. I want the BC-13 British,
Yeah.
and then there's an EP box like that has all the EPs on 45.
Yeah. And I actually threw in my copy of. It's like an original copy. It's not part of it, but I threw it in. It's the Free as a Bird
Yeah.
that I bought for $10.99 at Music World.
I have the same one, but mine has an HMV sticker on it.
Funny.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So that's
Good
it.
job, man. I'm jealous of that BC-13 box.
Yeah.
All right. Daryl.
So you want me to top this off, or
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how we do
that's
that.
okay. That's okay. I know how I'm going to top this off. It's okay. It's okay.
The collected
So
works.
I'm not going to top it off with the last. My most valuable record is on Discogs, a median price of $144.50. I think it is. My phone logged out on me. Surprisingly enough, I bought this directly off the website when it first came out for $40 or something like that. It is now worth $144.40. It's gone for as much as $240, and it's starting for $145 on Discogs if you want to buy it. And that is my Red Dead original soundtrack. Goes for about $150. This is an album that I listen to on the regular. If you're familiar with producer Daniel Lanois, he had a real big hand in this. He sings and performs many of the songs that are on there. If you like, I mean, it fits the video game. If you've ever played the video game, the whole soundtrack fits the game to a T. It's just, I think it's amazing. Even if you don't like the video game, it is a fantastic album. However, my last two are technically worth $200 a piece because that's what I paid to have them made. So you want to know something? These are priceless.
There you go.
These are worth more than money. These are priceless. So the first one is Nimble Lori's Consensual Ripoff, which is my band that I played in the early 2010s. There are only 3 copies of these in existence, and the copy that I have is the only one. The only one that's on blue vinyl. The other 2 are on clear. And then the other one is a custom one, and there is only one of these in existence because I had this custom made for my wife, and it's based on a video game called Endless Ocean. But the singer that is on it is called Celtic Woman. She's from Ireland, and I had this pressed, and each of them are, if we're going with a monetary value, they were $200 a piece. But they're priceless because if this ever burned in a fire, there's no other copies remaining. And one of these days, I should just throw it on Discogs for the shits of it.
Fair enough.
So that is mine. That is mine.
I like this comment. I can almost buy food for a day in BC for the same here in Ontario. I can sell one of these records and feed my family for a day or two, maybe. Maybe squeeze in a tank of gas if I'm lucky. I don't pay for gas, but in theory,
I'd have to sell about 5 of mine to make do for a day up here.
yeah. Okay, I'm going to show the dumbest thing that's been shown tonight.
Yes.
Hands down, the dumbest thing. And again, okay. Again, I apologize that I have to show this. I have to show this, and I'm going to tell you why I think it's stupid. It's a Taylor Swift picture disc. Now, I've taken it out of have a drink, Richard. I took it out of the thick PVC sleeve that they come in because those leach, and I put it in a protective sleeve and cut out whatever. When she did the album Lover, she went on the Billboard Music Awards and performed the song Me. And so what they did is they took the live audio from the rehearsal and pressed it on a picture disc. So there she is on the one side, and it's another version on the. What's on the other side? I don't know. There's nothing on the other side. Yeah, there's something on the other side. I don't know what the hell's on the other side, but that's the goofball from Panic at the Disco who does the song with her. So here's where I think this is ludicrous. We're talking about a single picture disc of a live rehearsal recording. Like this is an official thing. It came on her website. And again, I bought it for the $15 or whatever the hell it was. Swifties have way too much fucking money. Boggles my mind. No way would I pay more than $15 for this. I don't even know why I paid $15 for this. But according to Discogs, the median selling price is $345
Jesus.
for a picture disc single of a rehearsal recording of a song. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yep.
So that is, according to Discogs, my most expensive record with an asterisk. Because according to Discogs, the actual most expensive record I have is the Beatles Butcher cover. But I'm not saying it's my most expensive because, as you can see, my copies beat all the shit. So obviously condition plays a huge part in what something is worth and what somebody is willing to pay for. This is a third state mono Butcher cover, meaning that it had the trunk cover on like Tim's, but someone peeled it and did a horrible job with the peel. According to Discogs, if this is in reasonable condition, they've sold for $539, as high as $2,600. There's no way that this is going to probably fetch more than, maybe $150. I don't know. I don't care. I don't care that it's beat up all the shit because
It's a Butcher.
when I started collecting records in, 1993, 4, whatever it was, my holiest of holy grails, the one that I never thought I'd ever get, is a Butcher cover. I've only ever seen 2 in person, and I own one of them. And I never cared whether it was a second state or a third state. I didn't care what condition it was in. I just wanted to own one because I'm such a hardcore Beatles fan. I had to own a Butcher cover. I got this probably 15 years ago. I maybe paid $100 for it with shipping and everything. Doesn't matter. I don't care what I paid. I don't care what it's worth. I don't care that it's beat up. I just care that I own a Beatles Butcher cover.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So expensive, but not expensive because the condition is garbage. But again, just want to own one. There we go. That was kind of a fun exercise, thought exercise, experiment, whatever. Obviously, again, I'm not saying that's what these are worth. And I think collectively, none of us are going to part with any of these records. I think that's pretty safe to say. I would probably save all of, if I had to get rid of my collection, I'd probably save all of these and, you know, have emotional distress getting rid of everything else. But these are probably the last to go. So we're not selling them. It was just kind of a fun, what's the world saying? And again, I think we're kind of in a vinyl bubble too, right? I mean, I think prices are kind of artificially high, especially with the Taylor Swift stuff, which is stupid. You know, if we were to do this again, probably in 10 years, who knows where we're going to be? But vinyl's kind of at its height, and you know, the price of new vinyl is higher than it's ever been, which drives the price of this stuff up. So, you know, I was looking at, I had a couple records from Record Store Day from the very first Record Store Day, which was what, like 2009 or whatever, and it still had the price tag on it, and those were like $19 brand new. You go to Record Store Day now here in Canada, good luck finding something under $50.
Yeah.
So I think these prices are artificially high, but it wasn't about the price. It was just kind of like, what's, for fun's sakes, what are the most expensive in our collection? So I hope you guys had fun. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
There's nothing I like more than Tim making me jealous with that damn accordion. That's all I can say.
We knew that was going to show up for sure.
You always follow me every night. It's always, oh, Daryl, come on, how are you gonna follow that, Daryl?
Right?
So funny. You know what's funny is when you and I were communicating and you were like looking for Weird Al records in Ottawa, and you're like, there's none anywhere. Like, no, Weird Al records are hard to find.
They are, yeah. They're around, but you just gotta be resilient.
Yeah.
You gotta keep checking. Yeah. They're not readily come by, but they're around.
Well, we'll do as we always do to wrap this up quickly, go around the horn. Richard, anything on your channel you want to tell folks about?
Not a whole lot going on right now. I'm just doing kind of in the middle halfway point for my Vintage Vinyl Revisited series. I'm up to letter Q. I'm currently listening to Qs, and I realized I only had 4 Qs of different artists, so I had to come up with another way to come up with a 5th. And I came up with a way to do it. So that's coming. And we're getting pretty close to the end of the month, so I'm sure I'll be putting out a video on, hey, this is what I bought this month. And because everybody does that, and it's fun. That's really about it right now.
Right on. Daryl, what about you?
This past weekend, I did some quick videos. 2 of them were contest entries, and 2 of them were some threads. I thought that Gav Axman Spins, he did one where he showed 3 funeral songs. I just poked fun at it. You know, the second song the second album I showed was kind of like the F you to all the haters one. That was pretty funny. Yeah, other than that, I'm going to get back on my I started that series, the different styles of music on Discogs. Used to be called subgenres. I don't know why they changed it to styles, but started at the bottom and working my way up to the ones I have the most of, and we'll go from there.
Right on. Tim, what's going on in your world?
Not too much. 2 shows next week, but so it's kind of the lull before a storm. Yeah, I got Judy Collins and Bill Bruford next week.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, I got 2 videos that are recorded and I still haven't published. One of them starring Richard, where he and I talk about you two. They're going to get up in the next couple weeks. I'm so burnt out of staring in front of the computer with work that my eyeballs go, nope, we're not going to look at the computer tonight. So I need to get those up because, you know, they were fun to make. Especially I really enjoyed the U2 one that Richard and I did. So hopefully soon. I got a show coming up on Friday. I'm going to go see Whitehorse. And the other exciting thing coming up is in 3 weeks from now, we probably won't be doing you guys could do it, but I won't be here because I have to go to Charlotte, North Carolina, which is where our corporate office is for work. And conveniently, our corporate office is literally 2 minutes down the street from Noble Records. which if you guys watch anything on YouTube, Noble Records is one of the most renowned record stores on YouTube. Dylan does a phenomenal job. And I literally have to drive by it every day to and from work, going from the hotel to the office. So I will make sure that I stop into Noble Records and hopefully say hi to Dylan. Not that he knows who the hell I am, but nonetheless, I'm gonna. And if I do that, I'll record a little video. So that's coming up in a couple weeks. I just found out today that regrettably I have to go to Charlotte. So yeah, so
yeah.
I hate traveling. I hate traveling for work. Let me put it that way. So it is what it is. When the boss says you got to go somewhere, you got to go somewhere. So it is what it is. All right, guys. Thanks everyone for joining. Thanks, Devin. Fun stream. Yes, we enjoyed it as well. Thanks for tuning in. To everyone that joined us tonight, thanks. It was a lot of fun. For everyone that's going to watch this later on, thanks for spending the time with us. We'll be back next week with a new guest and something else to talk about. So everybody have a great night, and we will see you next week. Have a good one.